Welcome to Iraqi Dinar News, your dedicated source for strategic and credible updates surrounding the Iraqi dinar and Vietnamese dong in 2025. As interest in these currencies continues to grow, many holders find themselves wondering how to properly approach banks without raising unnecessary red flags. This update is here to guide you step by step on how to engage with financial institutions the smart way, what to say, what to avoid, and how to carry yourself to be taken seriously in today's cautious regulatory environment. Every word you say matters now more than ever, and if you're preparing for future currency exchanges, your journey begins with information, not speculation. Imagine this. You walk into a bank hoping to inquire about your IQD or VND holdings. Instead of getting answers, you're met with confusion or even outright dismissal. This scenario has played out countless times for currency holders across the U.S. The problem isn't necessarily your intent. It's often your approach. Banks in 2025 operate under strict compliance guidelines. Staff members are trained to flag anything that appears speculative, especially when it comes to foreign currency discussions. Phrases like arrivee, cash-in opportunity, or contract rate aren't just frowned upon. They can actually trigger internal alerts that result in account restrictions or termination of service. The moment these speculative terms leave your mouth, the conversation is effectively over. Instead, you need to position yourself as someone conducting a legitimate, compliance-friendly inquiry. For instance, rather than saying something like, "I heard the RV is happening, can I cash out my dinar?" you might say, "Good afternoon. I'd like to better understand your foreign currency intake process, specifically concerning internationally recognized notes such as the Iraqi dinar or Vietnamese dong." This approach removes the speculation and presents your interest as procedural, something that aligns with how banks prefer to operate. Preparation is another key factor in being taken seriously. Don't walk in with currency notes stuffed in your pocket. Bring a clean folder that includes your government-issued ID, like a valid driver's license or passport, original purchase receipts for your currency, and if possible, certificates of authenticity. Some savvy investors even include printed policies from the bank's website regarding foreign currency exchange. This level of readiness tells the bank you're not just chasing rumors. You're researching, documenting, and engaging with discipline. Presentation speaks volumes before you even say a word. Next, be mindful of who you speak with and when. Asking detailed questions about foreign currency during peak banking hours at the teller window is not only disruptive, it's ineffective. Tellers are not trained to handle these inquiries and will almost always deflect them. A better strategy is to schedule an appointment with someone in the foreign currency or compliance department. You can say, "I'd like to schedule a brief meeting with someone who manages international currency intake procedures." This signals that you understand the proper channels, and it gives the institution time to assign the right representative to assist you. Your tone and demeanor during that meeting matter just as much as your paperwork. Keep calm, speak clearly, and avoid emotionally charged language. Do not say things like, "I know it's going to revalue any day now," or "I read online that it's already happening." These statements scream speculation. Instead, focus your conversation on factual developments like, "Given Iraq's recent economic reforms and improved foreign reserves, I'm interested in whether your bank has revised any currency intake policies regarding the dinar." This shows you are informed, not influenced by rumor. Just as important is using the correct terminology. Avoid internet-based jargon like RV, black screen rate, or redemption center. These terms hold no weight inside a regulated financial institution. Instead, refer to your topic using terms such as foreign exchange procedures, international note policies, or currency intake compliance protocols. Speaking in the bank's language earns you respect and improves your chances of receiving accurate information. Want to further reinforce your credibility? Bring along recent data from the Central Bank of Iraq or Vietnam's Ministry of Finance. Having official documentation or news articles from reputable economic outlets can elevate your questions from hopeful to professional. It signals that you're following real global developments, something that serious financial institutions notice. You could even say, according to the central bank's latest report, Iraq's currency stability appears to be increasing. Have there been any updates to your current exchange intake policy as a result? Timing is another essential part of this strategy. Avoid walking into a bank late on a Friday or during lunch hour. Instead, aim for mid-morning on Tuesday or Wednesday, windows when staff are less rushed and more willing to engage thoughtfully. Be polite and respectful when requesting time. A phrase like, "Would it be possible to meet with someone familiar with your institution's foreign note handling procedures at a time convenient to them?" helps establish rapport from the beginning. One professional habit many overlook is record keeping. After your visit, jot down the date, the employee's name, and a brief summary of what was discussed. Over time, these notes will help build a track record that reflects consistency and organization. When you return for follow-ups and reference previous conversations, you show continuity, something banks highly regard when handling sensitive subjects. It may even earn you access to higher-level conversations or early access to policy changes. Now, here's a critical point that could make or break your future opportunities. If your inquiry is declined, stay composed. Arguing or becoming defensive can undo all your professional efforts in a single moment. Instead, ask calmly if you may speak with someone from compliance or the foreign currency policy team. Even if you're told no again, your respectful tone will be remembered. Many banks document these encounters in their internal systems. A single, thoughtful visit can work in your favor, while a poorly handled moment can close doors permanently. Even though we're deep into 2025, deceptive schemes still target holders of the Iraqi dinar and Vietnamese dong. Scammers have adapted, using terms like private exchange offers, special contract rates, or backdoor groups to lure people into fake deals. These pitches often involve promises of faster payouts or secret rates that supposedly bypass banks. Make no mistake, legitimate financial institutions do not operate in secrecy. If someone asks you to hand over your currency, pay upfront fees, or send your notes through the mail, it's almost certainly a scam. Always insist on working with verified, regulated banks. That's where any real and safe exchange will eventually occur. If you're serious about being prepared, take your commitment one step further. Follow real economic indicators that impact the currency landscape. Monitor Iraq's oil production data, Vietnam's trade reports, and any public updates to their central banking strategies. Clip articles from respected financial publications and store them in your folder along with your paperwork. When you reference actual data in conversations with banks, your position shifts from hopeful to analytical. A well-timed question like, based on Iraq's recent update on reserve strength, has your institution made any changes to its currency handling protocol? Shows you're informed and acting based on facts, not rumor. Landing a second meeting with the same bank official is a significant step forward. It means your approach, documentation, and professionalism left a positive impression. If this happens, make it count. Dress in business attire, arrive early, bring your updated materials, and be concise. You might say, "Since our last meeting, I've followed recent financial statements from the Central Bank of Iraq. Have there been any updates to your IQD or VND processing procedures at this branch?" Avoid jumping to conclusions or asking about revaluation schedules. Focus strictly on confirmed processes and changes. In this environment, your behavior is as important as your information. Banks maintain internal records on clients, especially those who inquire about sensitive matters. If you've visited repeatedly, shown consistency, and maintained a respectful tone, you're building a foundation of credibility. That reputation can lead to private meetings, direct communication from higher-ranking officers, or even pre-signification of changes to bank procedures once major developments occur. But if you act rashly, use speculative language, or display impatience, you may be quietly added to an internal watch list, effectively shutting down future dialogue. This is not a waiting game. It's a professional journey. Your long-term access depends on how you carry yourself today. Think of this not just as holding foreign currency, but as building a relationship with the financial system. Ask smart questions, take calm, calculated actions, speak clearly and confidently, and never give the impression that you're chasing rumors. A simple statement like, "Has your foreign currency policy been updated in light of recent IMF commentary or changes in global reserve practices?" shows you understand how financial systems evolve and that your curiosity is grounded in substance. The core message here is timeless. If you want to be treated as a serious investor, behave like one at every step. Use appropriate language, respect the institution's time and process, and operate with an understanding of compliance. Avoid phrases like, "Is the RV live yet?" Instead, aim for something like, "Given the recent adjustments to foreign currency reserves in Iraq, is your institution reviewing its exchange intake framework for these notes?" That single adjustment in tone and language can mean the difference between being heard and being dismissed. So now you have the blueprint. From the way you dress, to how you present your documents, to the very words you use, every detail contributes to your outcome. You're not just preparing for a currency exchange, you're establishing your credibility in the eyes of financial professionals. And when the day finally comes for policy shifts or currency transitions, you'll be ready because you laid the groundwork through preparation, patience, and professionalism. Thanks for tuning in to Iraqi Dinar News, where our mission is to keep you one step ahead. If this guidance has been helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and share your own banking experiences in the comments. Stay informed, stay grounded, and remember, the smart approach opens the right doors when the timing is right.